gonna be an impromptu video on the series that I'm making. I don't know why this thing is flickering and giving different colors and turning red, alternating between red and some whitish effect. I don't know what is going on. But anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Akile Mashilwani. And I wanted to do this video as an introduction to a series that I'm planning to embark on. I do not know how long this series is going to be, honestly, because it's been over a year since I started reading the Gospel of John specifically. My aim was to find verses that really point to Jesus Christ being God, being the Messiah, just anything that has to do with the divinity of Jesus Christ. I mean, of course, one of the reasons why I got into this is due to the polemic space, especially between Christians and Muslims, arguing the divinity of Jesus Christ. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to take up that, challenge onto myself to actually go through the Gospels, read, highlight anything and everything that points to the divinity of Jesus Christ. And let me tell you, this is actually a very, very nice way of reading the Gospels, because I do not think anyone can just read the Gospel one time and think, okay, fine, now I know what the Gospels are about. For me, I was able to have a certain angle at which I was approaching or reading a certain book in the Bible. And for me, when I was reading John, the divinity of Jesus Christ was the aim at first. And I remember one time I was also reading through the Gospel of Matthew for a week. I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to read through the Gospel of Matthew for 1 week. But my main focus is how Jesus relates to the Jews during his time, how he is relating to the Pharisees, and how he's relating to the rulers of the time and his disciples, of course. And man, I came out with so much more. Again, I got caught up into, prophetic verses. I came across verses that actually point to the fact that actually Jesus is God. He is the Son of God. He is the Son of Man. Every title, he's the Messiah. All the fulfilled prophecies, like the miracles and all of that. Of course, we all know this. But this particular reading of, the Gospel of Matthew, it was the most mind-blowing sessions that I've ever had reading the Bible by myself, on my own. No church, no podcast, nothing prompted me like that. I mean, of course, I did have a Bible study partner at the time. So the aim was, okay, fine, what angle could we be reading the Gospel of Matthew, through? And for me, it was how he related to people, basically. God, Pharisees, the disciples, the Jews at the time, the rulers, pretty much that. And I just came back with so much more. And due to that fact, I kept on, highlighting. And I mean, to me, it felt like I will end up having a Bible filled with purple highlights. And by the way, this is when I also decided to actually, have different or very specific highlighting or colors that I'm going to use for fulfilled prophecies or prophecies that are yet to be fulfilled. Anything that points to Jesus being a divine person. Any, supporting verses to, the claim of Jesus' divinity or the prophecies. But basically what I'm trying to say is I came up with a coloring system for my Bible read, for the very first time. So to me, it was actually very mind-blowing. And I'm thinking I was going to use, so here's what I'm going to do. I was going to use initially a physical Bible, but the one that I haven't really highlighted much from is my KJV Bible. Now, the KJV Bible is not my go-to Bible, because for me to honestly read and understand everything that I'm reading from the King James Bible, it has to be a very clear, least stressful day, fresh mind, then I can get into it and read, I can understand and still be fine. But my preferred Bible version is the ESV and the Amplified. These are my main go-to Bibles. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to download an ESV app so that any highlights that I have on that specific app, I know that, I will not repeat the reference of a verse that I've already had gone through during this series, by the way. So, this is not the only idea that I've ever had, but I'm only now putting it to motion because, my thing's a little bit all over the place, but I don't want to focus on getting all my resources, but I want to just start, just get the wheels going, get the momentum going, because I don't believe that God needs everything else to fall in place precisely for him to use us. And I think this would also be and I think this is going to be very educational for me. And I hope that is going to be the same thing for everyone who is curious, who wants to share, the passion and, the journey of actually also rediscovering or learning a little bit more about the divinity of Jesus Christ in the Bible. I will obviously try to, explain a little bit more in context. And one of the things that I would love to do, I don't know how this is going to play out really, but I would love to start with much more simpler verses that don't need too much or do not rely too much on cross references like in the Bible. Why? Because I want to go verse by verse so that if I am actually trying to use another cross reference, I want that to be the case only if I've already covered that segment or that portion previously on like my previous videos that I've already done. So yeah, I think this is going to be interesting. It's going to be a very long series, I'm assuming. I did say that I had similar idea before, and the idea basically was the parables of Jesus Christ. I vaguely remember the exact number of the parables by Jesus Christ, but I think it's somewhere around 30. I could be wrong, plus minus 30. But, a series like that, probably not going to be that long. But a series about verses in the Bible that actually point to Jesus Christ being God. Yeah, that one is going to be a very long one. That one is going to be a very, very long one. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. Thank you for coming. I hope that you are able to learn with me as much as I learn and grow in the Word. I hope we can also get to engage a little bit in the comment section, share some little bit of like insight, a little bit of like understanding. So yeah, I would appreciate it if you can like, comment, and if you're really enjoying this content, also considering subscribing.
Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. For I am the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel.